All right, just making sure it's recording. I've been known not to record either. So anyway, I love that you guys are here. Welcome. We're excited. The one thing that I love about, well, I love a lot of things about the business, but one of the things that I really do love about the business is that you do get to pick who you work with. There's a lot of jobs that you don't get to do that. And that can be good. Sometimes it can be bad, right? In the Marine Corps, that was a little interesting sometimes. There were some people you had to fly with. You said, I really don't want to fly with him. That makes me nervous. But you get to fly on our team with whoever you want to. So if you're here, like something that we're big on is telling people, like, invite people like that excite you, that they're enthusiastic, that you see something in them that you want to link arms with. And so if you are here, it's a compliment. If you're listening to this, it really is a compliment. So kind of take that off your shoulders, sit back, take some time to listen. I really would like to get done in less than an hour. I'll do my best. Type out your questions along the way. We'll come back to him at the end. I promise you, if you have a question, somebody else has a question, and chances are we totally forgot to cover it. So don't be shy. And then at the end, don't leave early because we are going to give away some of our favorite prizes. So I don't want you to miss out on that. Let me make sure I can. There we go. Okay. Can everybody see that okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you are going to hear from 4 different people tonight. And that is another thing I love about this business. It's from all different walks of life that you're going to hear and be around people that have different stories, have walked different paths, have had different struggles and overcome different things. And I love that. And so we kind of have a variety on here. I pulled Chad in without him knowing. I had already made all the flyer. I was like, hey, Chad, guess what you're doing? So Chad's here. This is my husband. He's a retired Marine Corps. There goes Chad's wave. Sorry, we made fun of that when we were practicing. So I had to make fun of it again, but he flew jets better than he waved, serving in multiple deployments overseas and really got in really good shape, maybe a little bit too good of shape at one point where your flight suit, like where they had to give you an extender, right?
Yeah, I got pretty big.
With body beats. Yeah, I got pretty big. So really all to support me, which I love. And after 11 years, he was medically retired, couldn't fly a jet anymore, but he came home to focus on the family and started really, would you call it? I didn't know what to call it, like a real estate investing firm. Right. Sounded so important. Does that made you sit up straighter?
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyway, so you'll hear from Chad. You'll also hear from Jen Wood, who is a mother of 2, a grandma, actually a Gigi. We have 2 Gigis on tonight. A former military Army wife, to be specific, and really got in the best shape with these products and then went on to build the business. And this is what it does not get celebrated enough. We do not talk about this enough, Jen, but this really is so awesome. Has paid off all their debt, including almost their entire house. Like they have like, did you say 25,000 ish or 25,000 left? I think you said.
Yeah, I think it's like 23, 25, something like that, which yeah, we could pay it off, but I'm like, man, just why?
Don't hear that. That is true financial freedom. And so you'll hear more of her story, but she also has afforded, which was a big goal of hers, to, the ability for her and her husband to travel and to give herself the freedom to travel. I think like she just got back from Mexico. I can't really keep up with where she's ever at, but she got back from Mexico. She's about to go back to Mexico. She's all over the place. She'll talk about that. But my mother-in-law, Jenny, is also on here. She's a mom of 2. Also a Gigi to 3. We have 3 kids, a corporate executive. So a little bit different than Jen and I. She lost 35 pounds in our group. Now, I'll let her tell that story. Maybe she'll talk about how she was like, no, Summer, I don't want that flappy stuff. Don't make me lose too much weight or something. So anyway, we have great stories and we all come with our hesitations and we'll talk about those things, but she really became one of the most fit 60-year-olds that I've ever seen. And I really want to be like her when I get older. Currently building her nest egg for a second home in Florida. She promised in Florida, but I have a feeling she's going to go on the opposite coast of us. That's okay. As long as you have a pull-out couch for us to sleep on, it's all good. And then myself, I'm also going to share a little bit. I'm a mom of 3, a personal trainer. That's a long story. That I'll share a little bit with, but it wasn't until I dug in with a team like this in groups that some of you have been in that I actually lost 15 pounds, which is just a number. What I really gained was a freedom from yo-yo dieting and self-hate and some other things that we'll talk about. But I did not achieve that as a personal trainer. Didn't have the support. We'll talk about that. So I'm a former military wife and I built this business through multiple deployments, little people. I mean, I started when our second was 10 months old and then I birthed a child by myself. We moved 17 times. And I only tell you that to show you that it can be done, and it's not all in, is not all day. It can be done in the mom cracks, the corporate executive cracks, and we'll share that kind of stuff along the way. But before we go too far, I really want to share about Team Beachbody and what their goal is. This really helped me because maybe like some of you, I don't know, but I was really, really hesitant when I got invited to a webinar like this almost 12 years ago. I had all my preconceived notions. And while I really do love that there are opportunities and people have the courage to start these second and third stream of incomes to try to wiggle loose from that debt noose that really is suffocating them, or to build a nest egg so that they're not ever put in a compromised position, or to create extra income to be able to make memories with their family. I really do love that. And that's what all of this is about. I had never seen it done in a way that sat right with me, if that makes sense. And so really, I was fearful that I was going to be that mom that pushed the jogging stroller up and like to the, to a playground, and all the moms ran. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was my fear. Like, they'd all run like, oh my gosh, she's gonna, I know, like, she's gonna try to sell us. I never wanted it to be like that, and so it took me hearing some of these things about Beachbody to kind of warm up to a little bit. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. It was founded in 1998 by Carl Daikeler and John Congdon, but really as an infomercial company. That's really his sweet spot. That's where his skills are so polished. And P90X was really a hit, and he did very well with it. I mean, unless you lived under a rock, like I'm sure some of you got, well, for me, nursing in the middle of the night or something, I would, P90X would pop up, or Turbo Jam, or, like 8-minute abs or something would pop up. And those are all things that he had been working on and had great success with. But he came to a fork in the road in 2007, and he really had to decide to grow, to expand. Do we go the route of Sam's Club, Target, and put it on the shelf kind of like, next to Jillian Michael, or do we go the network marketing approach, which really was outside of his skill set, outside of his comfort zone? It wasn't his favorite option, but when he got on the message boards at beachbody.com, the people that were succeeding were the people that were showing up in there and helping each other, supporting each other, encouraging each other. And so he knew that if he was he didn't want to just produce workouts that just collected dust, or he didn't want to just make a lot of money. He wanted to help people. He had a mission statement. He wanted to help people live a happy and fulfilling life, not get a six-pack necessarily, not be a size 4 or a size 2, but to really live a happy and fulfilling life. And he was going to do that. He knew that he had to tap into a piece of the fitness industry that I can promise you as a personal trainer definitely has been missing for people. And that was the support and the encouragement, someone to walk next to you, not someone that was an expert, but someone that, was just a few steps ahead of you, perhaps, or right where you were at, and could encourage you along the way. And so he invited 40 of his customers that had been active on the message boards, and he pitched the idea to them, the network marketing idea. And again, just like me, met with a ton of resistance. The person that invited me, my upline, she's a mom of 6 and a former youth pastor, and the other one is a pastor in Nebraska. And it was like, hold up, I'm not catching this vision. But the more Carl shared with them what his vision was, to expand and to help people live a happy and fulfilling life, and to really help people get results that change their life forever, they jumped on. And the growth has been absolutely insane, now reaching up into Canada and the Spanish market, over to France and the UK. So it's been a really cool process to be a part of. Some of, Jenny's been with me for going on a decade. Oh my gosh, Jenny, I've been doing this me and Chad have been here almost 12 years. So to watch it expand, to go from, running challenge groups in an email chain, to be on social media, then to have an app that Beachbody produced for us, and to be connected with people all over the world. It's been a really cool thing to be a part of. And something that our team takes a lot of pride in. So our team also has, a goal and a mission and a culture to it. And since Jen has been around quite a while, has been a big part of our team, I'm going to throw it over to her and let her cover that.
Awesome. Okay. Am I on? Okay. Hi. So first, before I go over this, I just want to tell you a little bit more about myself. Summer said a little bit, but I just figured I'd go into that a little bit more. I became a coach 9 years ago. We were a military family on, military income, which wasn't that great. And I had gotten my degree. I really wanted a career. I wanted, that kind of thing. But my oldest daughter has the same medical issues, and it required me to pretty much give up my life to take care of her and her needs. So I was really, really depressed. I was really angry and resentful. I would pretend like I was fine or pretend like I was okay, but really I wasn't. So when this business came along, I was really looking for something that I could do, where I wouldn't have to be away from my family, and we needed the extra income. And plus I had no idea the community was going to make such a big difference in my life until I got involved in it. So fast forward over the 9 years, like Summer said, we've paid off all of our debt, except for a little bit left on our mortgage. And it wasn't necessarily like the income's been great, but it was really the things that I learned through the team and through personal growth and the things that we encourage coaches to do, which is like personal development and making yourself a better person. That's what taught me what do I want my life to look like? What's the vision that I want for my life? And that was being debt free. That was having the freedom to not have to work, to be able to travel. And that's exactly where we're at. So, and I am somebody who I have anxiety. I'm going to go into this later, but so you don't have to be outgoing. You know what I mean? Like you can still do this. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked and I'm hot. I tried to turn the air down, but it's like stoking in here. Okay. So really quick, I want to go back, is back when we were that military family, going to like McDonald's and just getting stuff off the dollar menu was like a splurge for us. Like we didn't get to do that very often. I know that's horrible. It's unhealthy, whatever. But it was something we couldn't do. And so like fast forward to today, and like my husband and me and my family will go out to eat. I'll pay for my mom's food, that's something else. Like my mom was always buying the kids clothes and buying our food and doing all this stuff for us. So to be able to come full circle and have whatever drinks we want, have whatever food we want, and not have to worry about it, like sign that check and be able to tip well and pay that forward it really, you forget where you come from sometimes. And so it's been such a blessing. And I want that for other people, because I know if I can do it, anybody can, because as you can see, I'm not like all put together. So anyways, that's a little bit about me. So we're going to talk about our team goal. So really, we want to help people feel more energized, comfortable in their skin, and just live their best life. We want to inspire others to make positive changes that give them hope, energy, and confidence. What I love the most is this team, this tribe is about integrity and empowering each other, and, not the catty stuff that probably a lot of us went through in high school. And that, like, I was just telling someone that today who's on the call right now, is like, it's just so different. I used to be like terrified of women because of what I went through, and to be a part of something where you feel like they're not competing with you, but they're uplifting you, has just been one of the biggest blessings about this team. So the next slide is, I'm going to talk to you about what a fitness coach is not, because people really have misconceptions. They hear beach body, they think you have to have a six pack, you have to have a beach body, and that's just so not true. So I'm going to kind of go through that. So the first thing is, you don't need to be an expert. Everybody starts out from the same place. We all start out like a beginner, right? Like anything you do, like even doctors, lawyers, they practice and they learn and they grow and they get better. So you don't need to be an expert. We have trainings. You have access to Summer and our team page. You have access to all these other coaches to help mentor. You have your coach. Anyways, so you don't need to be an expert. You have the resources at your fingertips to become an expert over time. The next one is, we aren't icky salespeople. So you're not going to be like chasing people down in the store and like they're running away from you, because that's not what it is about. Yes, at the end of the day, we are selling a product, but for me, it's so much more service-based, and it just doesn't feel icky. like, for example, like I tried a few other companies before I did Beachbody and I was kind of jaded. I tried, I won't say the names, but where you had to buy a lot of makeup and inventory. And so really all the profits that you made went back into the business, and I wasn't making any money. So I was really like skeptical whenever I learned about this one. And when I found out that you don't have to have any inventory or things like that, you just work on your own goals, your own, like your workouts, and you pay that forward. So you don't have to have all this inventory. That was something I loved. Let me slow down a little bit. So you don't need to be at your goal weight. Like what I said earlier, people think you have to be fit to be a coach, but really when you share your journey, it's so powerful. Like I have watched coaches transform, and people get to follow you and be a part of that. And then they see that you're doing it and they believe they can do it too. So you don't have to be at your goal to be successful. Next one is you don't need a certification. You don't, like, coaches are regular people who are working on themselves and they just want to pay it forward. So you don't need, some of these like coaches, they have the certifications and all those things. And that's what I love about this is we all kind of know what to do. Well, most people, like, we know we shouldn't eat the junk, right? But that's not it. Like, people know what they need to do. That's not the secret, right? So who needs a certification when I don't know if that makes sense. The next one is you don't need a big following. Sorry, I don't know how long I'm taking. You don't need a big following. So when I started this 9 years ago, I had 200 friends on Facebook. Instagram wasn't around. I didn't even know how to post. Like, my posts were ridiculous. They were like, Jennifer Wood is going to the dentist. It was awful. So it goes back to being an expert. I failed my way forward, and that's part of the process. So over time, like now I have a large following on Instagram and I have a large following on Facebook, because at first, well, that's too much stuff, but you will start to attract the right people to you. So as you grow and you put yourself out there, you will start to attract the right people who want to be surrounded by you. And you may repel some people. Like, I've lost some friends because they couldn't go with me, and that was okay because they were kind of like holding me back and that kind of thing. So, okay. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to, just like I said earlier, you don't have to have a 6-pack. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to look perfect. It's just about being you. Like, that's you're going to find people that want to work with you. And like, you can be a hot mess and you're going to attract people that are like you, that can relate to you. We're all different. That's the beauty of coaches. There are some coaches who are very organized and put together, and that the right people are going to follow them. So the next one is you don't have to be an extrovert, which I am more of an introvert. I could literally stay home like all the time. But I love people. So I guess they say that's an outgoing introvert, which makes no sense to me. So you don't have to be an extrovert. You can be an introvert and be very successful. There's a lot of coaches within Team Beachbody who are introverts, and they're very successful because you don't have to get on a call like this. You don't have to go talk to people in person. You can like kind of hide behind your computer. So what I like to do. But it is good for introverts because you get to go to events if you want to. Like, we have retreats, we have one coming up this summer, and it pushes you outside your comfort zone. And then you get to experience this community. You get to experience these friends when typically as an introvert, you wouldn't. Like, you would just stay home and not do anything, which sucks. So I like live for our trips. We have trips you can earn and just all these fun things. And I really love it. So the last one is you don't need to be available all day. You'll hear Summer say it a lot. All in doesn't mean all day. Like, we have training and things like that where we can show you how to get this in like in 30 minutes or an hour, or pockets. Like, there's coaches who have they maybe do 10 minutes here and 10 minutes in the car line, and then 10 minutes. She's going to talk about it in the evening. So you can fit it in where it works for you. And that was the beauty of this. When I started, it worked for me. You just got to get it in. So now that we talked about what a fitness coach is not, I'm going to pass it over to Jenny, and she's going to tell you what makes a great coach.
Thanks, Jen. I'm Jenny, and like Summer said, I've been coaching for, I thought you said something, coaching for 10-ish years. And I was probably one of Summer's first coaches on the team. And I remember our initial discussion, and I actually used the word scam when we were talking, and I just didn't know what it was about. So as we went on to our discussion, I started in a challenge group, and I worked my way through the challenge group, and with my first workout, and within 6 months I had lost 35 pounds. But I totally changed my lifestyle through Beachbody. So I'll tell you a little bit about that, a little bit more about that. But what makes a great coach? Somebody that makes a great coach is somebody that wants to work on themselves, and they want the fitness journey, and they want the accountability. Do you like to be surrounded by positive people? So it's one of the things that I just love about this team, and what has helped me so much in my corporate job is this community, and what I've learned through the positivity and the leadership and the personal development. In all my years as a corporate leader, we didn't have that. And still, really today, we don't have it like we do here on this team. So that's huge to me, and it's totally changed my life. Someone who wants to be to better themselves or encourage others. I get no greater satisfaction than when I get, it's the best feeling in the world when I get a message or a phone call or a text from one of my challengers that's telling me how they're doing, and how they finished a program or they've lost weight or whatever. It's the best feeling in the world to pay it forward and to help others. Someone who wants to earn extra money. I mean, who doesn't want to do that, right? So it could be extra money for maybe a car payment or a trip to Disney, or if you're saving for a particular thing, or even some people replace their full-time income or whatever they do with full-time, which is not really full-time, with Beachbody. And someone who wants more accountability. So accountability with our challenge groups, I tell you, it keeps me accountable. And I know that I have people in the challenge group that are counting on me to check in every night. They want to see my sweaty picture. They want to see my meal plan. And it makes me think twice before I put certain things in my mouth. And a little bit more about my story. Like I said, I started at the beginning with Summer, and I was still in corporate America, and was more into the ladder climbing, and I did this in and out. The other cool thing about this, we had some things happen in our family with my husband's parents, and he had an eye accident and so forth. The leadership wasn't good at work, and so it was just kind of a down time for me. And this team, even though I kind of slipped away a little bit with my mindset and what I was working on with myself, this team gave me the skills to come back. So I know exactly what to do if that happens again, or even if I have a down day, I know how to pick myself back up again. And it's all because of this team. The 4 vital behaviors of a coach, how do I do this? We work on our journey with the tools. So they're Beachbody tools. So as a coach or a challenger, we have the tools available to us through our workouts and Shakeology and nutrition and so forth. And then we also have the tools for a coach. Everything we do is online. And all of our trainings online. We have training for our team, as well as Beachbody provides training. We work on our personal growth. So you keep hearing us talk about personal development, but it's the be all end all. And if you don't do that, I would highly recommend that. But we work on our mind and our body, and we pay it forward by sharing it with others. And we share it by inviting others to our challenge groups and to our team. And we support and inspire for them to get those results like we did, or that we're still working on in our challenge group. So that's a little bit about the vital behaviors, and we call them the 4 vital behaviors. But, kind of in a nutshell, that's what we wrap ourselves around, around. So I would say, as like Jen said, by nature, I'm an introvert. But my corporate job, career, and this team or whatever, it forces me out. But I love the community, and I love to surround myself with the team and the positivity and the inspiration. And it's just a fabulous group of people.
You gonna introduce your son?
Oh, sure. That guy sitting with Summer is my son, Chad.
Awesome.
So Chad's going to talk about how we earn, as a coach, how do we earn an income?
Cool.
All right, hold on before Chad talks.
Are we muted or unmuted?
No,
Oh,
we're
unmuted.
unmuted
Okay.
before Chad talks. He's really, really good at
She
flying
always
a
likes to
jet.
steal my thunder.
No, but
okay?
I'm
She
trying
always-
to help you. He's really, really good at flying a jet, but sometimes speaking.
I might start waving.
Yeah, he
It's
might
like-
get nervous. He does
Yeah.
nervous things, and so we're gonna work through this together.
Apparently my waving is a thing now. Or my kids make fun of me. Apparently I wave too big. I need to wave smaller. I wave when I'm nervous. I don't know what to do with my hands.
That's way.
That's right. Well, hello everybody. I'm Chad. So obviously here by now. So Summer asked me to come on and say a couple things about this topic, but also like share a little bit about what I saw. Okay, so I had obviously a 30,000 foot view, or fly on the wall, or however you want to say it. Look at the business and how this thing started, and it's
which
pretty,
he made fun of initially. So
I'm getting there.
your
I'm
spouse
gonna
is-
follow my sword. woman.
okay, I just
Dang. You just wanted to be said, right?
let's just
All right,
get that out of the
let's
way.
get it out there. So, we were introduced to the business similar to how this is happening here, and initially, I got to be honest, I was like, I don't know what this is. Okay, let's be honest, I don't know what's happening, but I really liked the supplement that they were offering. It's called Chickology, because I was kind of a supplement nerd, still am, and I was like, you know what? If nothing else, we can get this sucker cheaper, but using the coach discount.
I was like, I ain't drinking
whatever.
that. I like to chew my food.
Yeah, but I said, well, sure, whatever you want to do, that type of thing.
Aw, whatever you
So,
wanna do.
but I was skeptical, supportive. I was supportive husband, because that's what husbands should be. But I was skeptical.
Oh, I got a word for that. Skeptical supporter.
Supportive. There you go.
You know what I mean?
That's nice.
A skeptical
we
supporter.
can
That's
verb,
like a new term.
we can verb this sucker up,
Okay,
right?
mhm.
Okay. So, I can still remember like Summer's first webinar with the kind of thing like this, and she wouldn't even let me in the house, right? She had sticky notes all over this thing, and she was like, "Get out!" I'm like, "What?" Okay.
It's nervous. Just me and Jenny too, I think.
But I was skeptical. Like in the story, the funny story is that my dad had come. We were stationed in Washington, state of Washington at the time, and he'd come from Florida, and we used to get DVDs, right? Like, because
wow, we're really dating ourselves, you guys.
We got this big box of stuff, because we were like, they sent the Insanity and P90X. It was a bunch of supplements. It was awesome. It was an awesome box.
really
Like you could just
was.
lift the box and get a workout. And he was walking through the garage once. He was like, "What's that?" And I didn't want to calm. I didn't want to say, like, explain it, because he wouldn't understand it. I just didn't feel like it at the time. I have a lot of patience. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh, it's just some silly thing Summer's doing." Well, he filed that in the back of his head, and fast forward like 2 years.
No,
and
not 2 years, Chad. This was like 2 years ago.
2
So
years
fast
ago.
forward like 10 years, and he
Okay.
was
and he
laughing
spilled
about
it.
how successful it was, and then spilled the beans. And I was like,
I'm like, no. I didn't think it was like silly. A long
not
story.
silly, just kind of
Yeah.
silly. So
Anyway, so that's kind of how we started, and really what started, like, so I was that skeptic, like a lot of husbands are, and it's because it's something new, and you don't know what it is. But Summer started doing it anyways, because Summer she had a vision of it already, and I'll get into more of that of why this thing would probably be pretty amazing, and that has to do with her personal training background and being geolocated with a client, and then Beachbody just opens that up. So she saw that, and we'll talk about more of that later. But initially, she started doing the business, okay? And we started, and my skeptics started to, and there's 3 different phases. I call it our Applebee's money, and then I call it, oh my gosh, she's doing something illegal money, and then, oh my gosh, you just changed our life money. And that first thing, the Applebee's money, she made a few extra dollars, and it was enough to buy. And just forgive me if you're these people, or if you're a webinar and you hate these kind of people, because I was.
if you're a waiter,
Sorry, a waiter, because I was a server. And when these kind of people, my kind of people, us, came in and did this, I was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" So they would, we would go into Applebee's and we just didn't have enough money. So we would split a meal. Okay. Well, she
One
made
meal, two
one meal,
plates,
two
please.
plates, plates, thanks.
Water.
Awesome. $2 tip. You're welcome. Have a night. And so when she started making it, I was like, hey, honey, we can get 2 meals,
I
And so
remember
we did that.
it was in Washington where I think we had our first 2 meals.
We
together.
did.
Mhm.
And then we went past the Wendy's dollar menu, like Jen, but so then you fast forward another year or two, and I'm on my first deployment. And this is where I think you're selling something illegal money came in. And I remember waking up, I was going into work at like 2 a.m. I was walking with my buddy Strebe. It was cold. Afghanistan was terrible. And I remember checking our account, and I was like, there's an extra $700 there. I was like, and I remember firing off an email to someone like, are you doing something illegal? Because there's more money in our account. What is this?
Well, let's talk about where that, like, because
Yeah.
I think we can talk about
Yeah,
like
that's a good
where you're
yeah.
first going to make money,
Mhm.
which is where I was at in that first, the Applebee's
Yeah.
and into that other phase
Mhm.
was you're helping people along their own fitness journey the same way someone helped you probably on your fitness journey. So there's retail commission. So you're gonna make 25 to 40% of those commissions on all of those products through your website, which is awesome because these products really are good products. Chad touched a little bit on Shakeology. I was like, I've been around supplements as a personal trainer, you guys. I did not trust them. Some of the crap that is in supplements, if
Mhm.
I won't put it in my body, I'm sure as heck not gonna suggest that my clients put it in their body just to make a quick buck. And I used to get in a lot of trouble at my gyms because I was always the lowest performer when it came to the supplements. And so I was leery about these supplements. Like, no, I like to chew my food. This is crap. There's probably a bunch of fillers, whatever. So Chad talked me into it. To this day, he still likes to take credit for that
Oh, it's on me.
because we
It's
wouldn't
on
be
me.
here
It's
if he
okay.
hadn't talked me into it. But we have the line has grown over that time to where we have a performance line and we have some things that help with gut health and cravings. There's just, our son drinks multiple things for football. And so it's just really cool that we have these tools to serve people that are in different places in their journey. It's not a one size fits all, and you will make commission on those things. And as they become lifers and as they get results, as they plug in with you, they will keep purchasing the products, or they might add on like Energize to help with to give them a boost for their workouts and reduce soreness. So that's all commission based, and that's a really, really cool part. And that's what Chad was experiencing, that momentum that's created as you go through, and we'll teach you guys as you go through
Mhm.
that, and you learn how to build lifers, how to really build a purpose-driven business that when you lay your head down on a pillow at night, you feel really good about what you are a part of, and when you wake up, you're excited about what you get to do, and so that's that first way.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you,
No,
but-
it's fine. And that was what it was. It was like, is this the real? I mean, the legal kind of drugs or the other kind of drugs? So it was definitely interesting. Again, I was fast forward a couple more years, and I'm once again deployed to a nice, lovely, dusty desert area, and again, it was middle of the night for some reason. I was
You're
going-
always
going
in the
into
flu in the
Yeah,
middle of the
really,
night, I
it's
feel
what I
like.
did. And check my email again or check the accounts again, and it was payday, and I was like, okay. And I was walking with my buddy Strebe, and again with him, and I was like, so my wife just made as much money as I do in a week as they do in a month. I'm like, that, and obviously by now I was already convinced, but that is a moment where I'll never forget, because it definitely changed the trajectory of our life. It just has.
Well, I also think that's how, men, their brains operate from a financial standpoint. Honestly, that's how my brain operates too. I would never want to build a business or do something that in my heart I didn't think was serving people. So that's important to me, but it is a business, right?
Yeah.
And so businesses should make money. And so I was very keyed in on that. But men, all like that just seems to be their focus. And once they start to
Left brain,
see
right?
that,
Mostly.
he got really, really excited. And so that's where the other part of the compensation comes in. And the part that actually attracted me most to this business was your ability to expand your reach. So
Mhm.
let's rewind to when the business was introduced to me 12 years ago. I was creating something very similar to this because I realized very early as a personal trainer, like there's only so many hours in a day. And when we moved, I had to leave my clients. Like I felt like I was leaving them high and dry. I didn't have any tools or any way to keep connecting with them and continue to help them progress and live that yo-yo free lifestyle that I was so dedicated to helping other women live, And so I was learning HTML coding and building my own website and my own shopping cart. Like I had all of this money into it. And a friend came to me and was just like, why don't you just team up with Beachbody? I mean, it's all done for you. Right. And as I started really, I was hesitant for a while, but what I started to realize is like, I can reach more people if I link arms with other like-minded people. And I'm going to do better if I link arms with people from other walks of life, right? There's only one Summer, and I don't have the same gifts and skill set and story that Jenny or Jen or Nina, does. Like, and that's the honest truth. That's what really attracted me. And so as you build your team, there are team weekly matching bonuses and stuff like that. But here's the really cool thing. And what I really love is you don't succeed from that aspect until you help your coaches succeed. Yep. And that was important to me because there are some businesses that there's this big upfront earning for the upline, and then you can be dropped very quickly. Yep. We have to work together. It is our job to help you reach your goals. And if I help you if I help enough people, if Jenny helps enough people, if Jen helps enough people reach their goals, we will reach our goals. And so that takes our focus off ourselves, off the me, and creates a we environment that is absolutely priceless, in my opinion.
And it's rare within the world, really. It is.
So the mission is to expand our reach, and the comp plan is built around that. And you'll learn more about that as we work together and we train through things. You'll have all of that type of support. But I love to talk about that part because that is the part that I love the most. There are people that Jen has reached that I never would have crossed paths with, or Nina or Jenny or Helena or Nicole, like Tara, like there's, because of their stories and the people they're crossing paths with, they are impacting their life. And there is no better business plan, in my opinion. I could have never done that by myself. And so I love that piece.
Yeah,
I really do.
And like I said, I was in that place where I was questioning, but those series of things that, as time went on, and I saw the people and I saw the heart of the team and I saw, what goes into the business and what comes, what the leaders do for that. I was definitely convinced. And again, that fly on the wall, and I've seen people come in the business, I've seen people go, I've seen people come in, and I've seen them succeed. And really the thing that that Summer and the team will teach you the nuts and bolts of the business. They will teach you how to fit it into your schedule. They will teach, like we've mentioned already, they will teach you how to expand it rapidly if you want, or slower if you want. They have the widgets, they have the trainings, they have the documents. They got 12 years of experience back in that. But the real thing that really is always never changes, and how, if you determine if someone's going to be successful or not, it's you as the person. It's that consistency.
Like plugging in and getting surrounded.
And it's that consistency over time. And that's a really cool part. Cool part of it.
Yeah. And if you're willing to show up, if you're willing to be coachable and be patient, and learn, then we really have the tools for you to fit it in. That's a question that I hear from people all the time, is how do I fit this in? Yeah. And I did want Chad to speak a little on it, because he got to see from a husband's perspective that I wasn't on my phone all the time. All in doesn't mean all day, but you are going to get out of it what you put into it. Now, if anybody tries to sell some get rich quick scheme, like run the other direction. It's not that. It's a real business but if you show up, you reap what you sow, right? If you show up, if you're teachable, if you're learning, you will have a harvest, and it'll be really cool. So it's okay to ease into it. Like Chad said, it's okay for it to be part-time. It's okay for you to be a little more intense. It really depends on where you're at, the season of life, what your goals are, and everybody's life is different, and the flexibility is there for you to show up in a way that fits your schedule. Some are more structured, some are more intermittent. I was more structured, when Chad, I had to be. I was married, but not really, so I had to get up before the kids. I I did 30 minutes, then I did my hour workout. And then when my kids were up, I was all theirs. You know, I wasn't buried in my phone. And if we catch you doing that, we kind of get on you a little bit, because like that's the fastest
Because you
way
know
to,
you're gonna burn out.
yeah, that's the
it.
fastest way to frustrate your family, who should remain your number one priority, and to frustrate yourself, right? And so
And I would say, and something I forgot, and it's kind of a big deal because to me it is anyways, as Summer got into her routine, especially once I deployed and started seeing the results with the business, I think even before the money, what I saw was this like cheeriness in Summer when we were Skyping. Does anybody Skype anymore? I don't think so. But
no,
you know,
Zoom took over,
when
Chad.
she was just overwhelmed. And obviously, like it's hard.
I
You know,
was
when
frustrated.
when
I was frustrated.
yeah, when I deploy, and you know, it's just literally the washer and dryer breaks the day I deploy. You know, there's that kind of story. It's ridiculous. But I saw a softening of her, like a joy in her, and really what it is, and what it was, and what we talked about many times, is that the business gave back Summer a sense of purpose and identity that when you go into something like the military, if you're a military spouse or you know somebody who's a military spouse, you not only lose your freedom and where you want to go and what you want to do, but you quite literally lose your social security number too. Like anytime you do anything on base or anything medical, anything with your kids, anything on base, they will ask for this service member's social security number.
Yeah.
So you literally lose that part of you too. So
well,
this gave, it really did, it gave you
it gave me something positive to focus
exactly,
on. You know, it gave me something to be excited about, to be creative.
Sorry to jump back on that.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. So like I said, I was more structured. That's not everybody's personality. You know, a coach on our team named Carrie, she was really wanting to get home with her kids, and she was a math teacher. So she worked in the mom crack. She was busy. And a lot of times I remember her sending pictures, and she was working in between her kids, would only fall asleep if she laid with them. And so she'd be working away next to their beds. Or Courtney Bell, you know, she was working a job she didn't love. And she wanted to be home with her kids. And so she got up an hour earlier. And it's different for everyone. The way Jenny structures it, you have to find what's the right fit for you. And we will teach you the things to do during those times.
Yep.
Right?
Awesome.
Okay. I think we might make our hour slot, you guys. All right, we should throw a party. Maybe we'll give away extra prizes if we hit it. So
look at that. That's
I know.
impressive.
Okay, so what's next? Like, how much does this cost? How do I get set up? You know, what do we do? And the thing is you have to find it. Listen to me on this, you guys. And it's something that I love. You have to find what is the best fit for you. And there's 3 different options on here. And while I'm talking, look through, you know, the Shakeology, the Performance, the Deluxe Challenge Pack. There's different prices, but I want to zero in on the first one, because no matter where you're at financially, this is so doable, right? Like if we all own one of the, I'm not the only one that when I go through Target, like, do they pump something into Target that's like, everybody's going to spend $100 while they're there? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's incredible. Yeah.
So I love that this is a solution, you know, to help you no matter where you're at, you know, and there's different options, but its affordability was really important to me, because Chad and I struggled so long financially, and everything in the personal training world, even 12 years ago, it was expensive. So I was always someone would be making progress, and, you know, the refrigerator would break or something like that. And I was the first one to go, and they didn't have any tools to take with them. I mean, I tried to teach them things, but they didn't. Whereas here, like, this is like with this challenge pack, you get all of those workouts, BOD, Beachbody On Demand, like every workout you can think of, every style, every personality, whether it's a 21-day workout or a 90-day workout or a 30-minute workout, or from meditation to yoga, like to stretching. I mean, you name it, it's there for you to find the best fit. And you get that for a whole year. And all by itself, that costs $100. Okay. You also get Ultimate Portion Fix, which I could never offer. If you go to a personal trainer, it is outside of their scope of practice to give much advice other than drink water. They cannot tell you how many carbs to eat. They cannot tell you if they're outside of their scope of practice. Okay. And so that was a big trip up for me, that I felt like I was missing something for those that I was working with. And so Ultimate Portion Fix is one approach, because it's not one size fits all. So this is more of a structured approach, which fits my personality perfectly. I'm so structured. You'll see, you'll get a checklist. But and that by itself is $74. To Be Mindset works a little bit more focused on mindset and like a whole lifestyle change. And so that's a different personality or maybe a different season of life. That by itself is $74. And then a shake by itself, $130. So all in all of those things that you will get in that first Shakeology Challenge Pack is $377. But you get it for $140 and your coach fee is waived. I mean, I don't know if it gets any better than that, because if you hired me for a month and you got 3 workouts with me, it would cost $500 for that month. And I wouldn't be able to give you a shake, and I wouldn't have the ultimate portion fix, and I wouldn't have the To Be Mindset in case the portion fix didn't work for you. I wouldn't have a million programs. You would be stuck with this face and this personality. And if you didn't like my personality, you're screwed. You know what I mean? Whereas if you start with Autumn, you're like, I'm more of a Joel fan. You can adjust and figure out what's a good fit for you. And so I really, really love that we have the ability to make it affordable for everybody that really is ready to make a change, can tap into the community, get real workouts that are genuinely going to help you make lifestyle changes and get results versus quick fixes that are out there. Not to mention, you're going to get the 12 years of experience, this team. I mean, not just me, you know what I mean? You'll hear something from all of these coaches that we're going to say things differently that are going to stick out to you. We're going to give you step-by-step guidance, team trainings, team lives, mentorship calls, fun events. It's all going to be there for you. We're going to do our best to make it really, really simple without any minimums as a coach, without any crazy expenses involved. You really get to, with this business, focus on yourself and learn how to do it without these, like Jen was saying, without all this inventory that's involved. Does that make sense? And I wouldn't be here if this costs more. And if it was this super involved thing and it was made super complicated 12 years ago, I wouldn't be sitting here. Chad wouldn't be sitting here. He would be deployed right now. I don't know. We wouldn't live in Florida. We wouldn't walk our kids we don't walk them to school, but we wouldn't drive them to school together. Chad wouldn't have coached our oldest football, helped coach this year. There's a lot of things. If it was so expensive, if it cost $2,000 to get involved or was super complicated and you were always on your phone, I would be here. Right. And so it's important to me that we keep it simple and that these prices stay reasonable. Right. And worst case scenario, you guys, is you get good results and you meet some really incredible people, and sometimes I think that's the biggest gift of all, is who you're surrounded by and not feeling isolated. And so I'm not sure where you're at. I don't know if you're living paycheck to paycheck like Chad and I, or $100,000 in debt like we were. Like my heart used to race when we'd go to get groceries and I always had buyer's remorse. I don't know if you feel trapped in a job like Courtney or Carrie did. I don't know what your story is. I don't know if you're in yo-yo prison or do chubby checks like I used to, or dread bathing suit season, or I'm gonna be honest, I mean, when Chad was deployed, if there was icing in the house, it wasn't for long, right? So I don't know where you're at, but if you can relate to any of the stories, I would love for you to give us a chance. I mean, how would an extra $250 impact your family? I mean, you might be able to go to Applebee's and get 2 meals like what we did. You know what I mean? Like, it's the little things. We laugh now, but it meant the world to us. And, I got to walk away from some of the group fitness that I was teaching to make ends meet so that I could be home with our now 14-year-old. He was 2 back then. So that I could, I know it sounds silly, but help brush his teeth. I wanted to be there to read the book at night. And so I got to be home for that. So I don't know how that would impact your family, or 700 or 2,000. I just don't know where you're at, but this can be whatever you want it to be. So if you need it to be something, I really want you to give us a chance and allow us to walk next to you. Reach out to your coach that invited you, talk to them about the options that best fit you. Like, jump into our team page, get a feeling for our team and feel the energy, be a challenger, give yourself permission to focus on yourself, which in this day and age, I don't feel like we give ourselves enough permission. That's something that we're always going to be saying to you guys is focus on yourself. Who cares how much money you make if at the end of the day you're exhausted, you don't feel comfortable in your skin, you don't have the energy to really make memories with your family. We have Simple Trading to help walk you through it. That shows exactly what to do as long as you're willing to allow us in to coach you and walk next to you. So that's really,
Yeah.
how did I do? Did we read?
We did it.
Oh, 8 minutes to spare, you guys. I'm gonna stop sharing so I can see if there's any questions. There's not a lot going on in the chat, but we'll definitely give away some prizes as well. But does anybody have any questions before we move forward? I see some names that I don't recognize, but no questions. We must be that good. High five. High five, Jenny. High five, Jen. They were like, yes, I'm in.
Or they could be like, I just want them to stop talking.
Hey, I like the dialogue that's in my
Okay,
head
well,
right now. Don't
Just
give me that negative.
Keep it real, girl.
Keeping it real. Okay, let's give away some fun prizes, and then we'll get you guys all off here, and then you can chat with your coaches. But one of our favorite things is Energize, and it comes in 2 flavors, right? It
Sorry
comes
to
in-
interrupt you, Summer. Somebody just asked a question
Oh, they
about
did.
the coach fees. That was a really good question.
Oh, that is a
Oh,
good
didn't
question.
miss
And
that.
that was even on my note card.
Nice.
And I breezed right over it. There is a $15.95 a month coach fee. You get the 25% off with that off of every single product. So if you're on Shakeology, you still, depending where you're at, save $10 to $15 after that coach fee is paid. And then Energize, or if you decide to add Bevy or any of the other supplements, those are all 25% off. And that was something that really, I know this is going to sound silly, but I told you where we were at financially and how much we were paying for website fees and all that kind of stuff. I think with GoDaddy alone, I was paying $200. So I already saw myself as saving, almost $200 by switching over to Beachbody. But there is that fee. Of course, it becomes a tax write-off and such, but that's a good question, Diana. Good question. Any other?
Yeah, to add to that too, Diana, like Summer or Chad said earlier, you can go as fast as you want to go or whatever pace you want to go. So when you say requirements, it's your business. So the requirements are what you want it to be. One other thing along those fees is a lot of people may have already purchased a challenge pack. If you're a challenger and you've purchased a challenge pack, your coach fee is to sign up is included in that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, even if you've done it that in the past, if you
anytime.
Yeah. And if you're a military wife or spouse, I should say, that's also your fee is waived as well. So I think that's pretty cool that he didn't do that so all the military could, I've heard him talk on this, could just save some money. He did that so because the military really, I'm going to be honest, they don't pay the military enough for what they go through. Thank goodness we have people that feel called to that. And we have a lot of people on our team that are lifers like that give up a lot to defend our country, but they don't make a lot. And so to help them, he wanted them to have the opportunity to create another stream of income because it's just, women that the spouse is by themselves a lot, so working outside the home can be a struggle and such. They move a lot, that kind of thing. So that was something he did.
This also allows, Summer mentioned it real fast, but tax write-offs, things like that. This kind of get nerdy about taxes, just like supplements. So just opening a business like this opens up a lot of, you'd have to talk to your tax accountant and stuff like that, but it opens up a lot of tax deductions as well that you might not typically have with just a W-2
Absolutely.
business. So it's an incredibly cheap way to kind of access what the ultra rich do with regards to taxes.
And it's legal.
So yeah, totally legal.
So, and there's great books we can
there's-
recommend as you navigate that.
Yeah.
As you navigate that.
So if you don't sign up for this business, go sign up for some business. And if you never even do it, just use it for the tax
Yes,
write-off.
but hopefully this business.
Summer's like,
No, it's good. I understood what you were saying. Did we miss anything else? Jen, did we leave anything else off that maybe we skipped over?
I don't think so. Not that I can think of.
Okay, cool. All right, if you guys think of anything while you're listening, type it up and we'll catch it.
how do you
But
do this?
huh?
How do you do the?
How do I give the prizes
Yeah.
away? I don't know. I figured that out, but I'm
Oh,
about to
okay.
do it.
All right.
This is sometimes how you do it, you know? So there's mixed berry and they're lemon. Chad hates mixed berry. When it comes, he gets very frustrated with me, but I like
I think
mixed
it's
berry.
because
We live in a very
lemon-
split family when it comes to
Well, I
certain
think-
things like Shakeology flavors. They like vanilla. I'm like,
I think it's because the old Energize E&E, remember that?
Yeah? You
E&E,
didn't
it
like
was
it?
lemon. And
Yeah.
yeah.
oh, and so it's like, are you telling
yeah.
me you're like a creature of habit?
I am.
Anyway, you can have either one, whichever one. Jenny, which kind do you drink?
The mixed berry.
Me too. I like it.
I
What
like them
about you, Jen?
all. I love them all. I
Yeah.
really like fruit punch is my favorite, but I like them all.
Too, yeah.
Why haven't you ordered me
Why
fruit
haven't I
punch?
ordered fruit punch? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we should order it. Anyway, so we'll get, you'll get to, we'll pick a winner for that. But we also have Bevy, which I'm super jealous of. Comes in lemon and pomegranate berry. I haven't had lemon. Has anybody had? I this is fine.
Oh, I
'cause-
love the lemon. It's
Oh, I
like tea. It tastes kind of like, you know, like artificial, it's not artificial, but it tastes like, you know, the tea that's like
Like Lipton
powder
tea.
tea.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And it's really good. It's my favorite.
I wish we would have had this when Chad was deployed. Some of you guys have heard my story, but I really struggled with icing, like to the point where like I would spit in it and throw it away. Like I thought that would keep me from eating the icing after I put 2 little kids to bed and I was exhausted. I'd come down the stairs and I would like, I don't, I struggled with it. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I started saying to myself, well, it's my spit. So out it came. I mean, I know I'm just being real with you guys, right? So then,
Too much.
then to get, I know. Well, this is me, you know.
Too
Then
much too soon.
I had to throw dirt in it, you guys, and then throw it away. Like, cause then I draw the line. I draw the line if there's a bunch of dirt.
Scrape the dirt off. I know.
I
Scrape it.
didn't. I drew the line right there. But if this was around, I wouldn't have had to do that. I also took countless baths and did ab ripper X like you would not believe, because Shalene was like 5-minute rule, like just do something else. And y'all know, like the craving's still there. Like you almost have like a twitch and you have to like angrily walk yourself to bed. You know what I mean? Or you cave, one of the, anyway. If this was, I don't know why it took them so long, but I suppose it's because there's not a bunch of crap in it. But this really does help your cravings. I really have broken the yo-yo, like, and broken free from some things. This would have helped. So I don't need it that much, but this would have helped me. And so if you struggle with that, if that's and it torments you, like, and I close my eyes because I still remember. Anybody else struggle and feel like tormented by food sometimes, or just me? Okay, I'm a loner today. But this would, okay. I got one person to raise their hand. Okay, so if we pull your name, I would pick this if that's a struggle. So what we're going to do is we have 2 screens. Chad's gonna close his eyes and he's just gonna go like this and end up on somebody. And if he picks somebody that's already a teammate, if they have someone that has been invited, we will send to their invite. How's that sound?
Sounds like
I just
fun.
came up with that.
This
I
is
just came up with this.
very-
That sounded pretty fair in my head.
Very scientific. here.
Okay, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Okay, ready? Go. I see where you're going. Okay. Oh, it's on Diana McCreary. Yay, she asked a question even.
Yeah.
So,
Go Diana.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Awesome.
which one stuck out to you?
Bevy.
Bevy. Okay, lemon or pomegranate? Lemon?
Lemon.
Okay, you got it. So what I
Thank
need
you.
to, yeah, absolutely. What I need you to do is send your address to who invited you. Was it Jenny or, okay?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
Jenny,
Jenny.
my mother-in-law, so she'll text it to me and we'll get that out to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thanks for
Good
hanging
to
out
meet
with us tonight. Okay, now we're on the other screen. Okay, don't be, yes, it doesn't fill a whole nother screen, so people
Well, I'm
still.
not looking. I was looking. There's another message. I was.
Oh, there
seeing.
was, oh, Carrie has.
She's
to leave.
abusive. Everybody.
No.
She's very mean to me.
It's not true. We have a very animated relationship, okay? All right, Chloe, you got your eyes closed? Don't peek.
I'm not.
Like you're starting to
peeking.
pick favorites. Okay. All right, ready? All right. S. Susan Newby. Who invited Susan?
Okay, Mom.
Jenny?
Jeannie.
Oh, Jenny, you are such a
Jeannie.
hog. Like all your people are winning. Okay,
Makes you cough.
Susan.
It says Jeannie. I love it.
All right, Susan, What stuck out to you, the Energize or the Bevy?
The Energize.
Okay, do you like
Energize.
lemon like Chad or mixed berry like me?
Lemon.
Mixed berry.
Good
Team
girl.
Summer, I like her already. All right, girl, I'll get that out. Send your address to Jenny, and then we will get that out to you. But I have one other person, just because she's the only one, not the only one, because there's not a lot of faces. So you might be smiling and laughing at me and showing me a bunch of energy, but she raised her hand and we connected immediately. She doesn't know we connected immediately, but I felt connected because she raised her hand with me. And I don't want to say your name wrong, but it seems like it might be similar to mine. So I feel like we're meant to be besties already. So I would love to send you something as well. Do you say, is it Summer or just like
Nice.
my name,
That's the first time I've seen it spelled like that.
right? So my parents spelled mine with an O because they hate me.
Because she was like,
They're like, you know what?
"Summer."
I like this job, but not really. I want for the rest of her life, I want her to have to tell everybody, no, it's S-O. Every
Yes.
single time. That's what I want to do to my child.
Yeah.
Right, Summer?
I tell everybody my parents spelled my name wrong. They just didn't know how to spell summer.
Right. That's right.
It was 1976, Southern California. You do the math.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what went down in mine too. We weren't in
Yeah,
California, but we were in New Mexico.
same thing. I mean, not a lot of difference going on there.
Yeah, totally. And my dad was like, Suzanne Summers is so hot. We're gonna spell it like that. And then he put an extra
Yeah,
M in. I'm like, what, Dad? Really? So
I'm still disgruntled.
Yeah.
obviously we
I'm-
both are. So
I'm like, I can't even get an SOMMER or something,
yeah,
similar to the spelling.
I
I
know.
have to get some Indian man's name so if you look up my name spelling,
Uh-huh.
it comes back as an Indian man
Oh,
from like Pakistan. So I actually got a job interview in oil and gas, because me and Jen are from we went to the same high school. So we're
Okay.
from Houston, oil and gas. And I actually got a job interview because they thought,
oh,
because of my name, that I was an Indian man. So when I showed up with my big curly locks and my big blue eyes and pale freckly skin, they were like,
I
"Oh,
know.
you're a woman."
That is so
That's
funny.
a great story.
Well, people say Somer Tucker. I'm like, no.
Yes, you just
no.
say yes. That's what it is.
Okay.
I do. I know. It builds character.
It does.
That's
It
right.
does. Okay, Summer. So which one stuck out to you? The Energize or the Bevy?
I'm not picky. Whatever you think is like that you would like, I am down.
Energize.
I'm
Chad-
down to try it all.
Dad said lemon Energize.
Nobody's
So
going to be on my team. I'm going to make somebody on my team.
Yes.
Yeah,
I got
Energize-
you.
Energize is great because like, well, you're supposed to drink it before you work out, but like sometimes you can drink it like it makes me want to clean my house. I'm not sure why. Maybe I don't want to work out. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But every time I drink it, I start cleaning and organizing. It's the weirdest thing.
like,
Well,
woo, ready.
I got you, Jen. I'm the
Yeah,
same
so you
way.
can clean with it.
There you go. It
My
sounds like
baseboards need cleaning right now, so
we'll get this to you, and those baseboards going to be shiny.
Oh, not that much cleaning.
I'll send y'all video.
Okay, awesome. You guys, thank you
Thank
so much for
you.
spending our evening with us. Really, I know there's a million things you guys could do right now, and you hung out with us. So the fact that you stuck around, you listened, and you listened to our stories and our journey means the world to us. And if it doesn't end up being a fit for you for some reason, and you know someone that could benefit from being surrounded by some women that are really going to love them with open arms and walk next to them, please don't hesitate to kind of to share, what we do and what our mission is. But if it is the right fit for you, you're gonna love me and my checklist. But we're gonna really, really create some cool tracks together. I really believe that. So I will let you guys go. 6 minutes late, but all of that included the prizes. I feel like
I'd say
12
it's on
years
time,
later,
man.
I'm improving. All right, y'all.
That was
a
pretty
good time. I
impressive.
love you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Yeah.